Katy Perry, whose real name is Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, is one of the most famous pop stars in the world. With her powerful voice, bright personality, and colorful style, Katy became a huge star, known not just for her music, but for her bold and fun fashion choices. She often wore candy-colored wigs, wild costumes, and looked like she stepped right out of a pop art painting. That's why magazines like Vogue and Rolling Stone gave her the nickname Queen of Camp, which means she embraces fun, over-the-top looks and performances that don't take themselves too seriously. Katy's music is known all over the world. Songs like Firework, Roar, Teenage Dream, and California Girls became instant hits and were played everywhere, in cars, on the radio, at parties, and even at school dances. Thanks to her catchy songs and amazing performances, she became one of the best-selling artists in music history, with over 143 million records sold across the globe. That's a number most singers can only dream about. She was also the highest-paid female musician in the world more than once, in 2015 and again in 2018. People loved her not just for her voice, but for her ability to make pop music feel exciting, emotional, and a little magical. But even the brightest stars face challenges. Lately, Katy has been getting some criticism. Her fans and the public didn't react very warmly to her recent music, especially her album titled 143 and the single Woman's World. Some said the new music didn't feel as fresh or powerful as her earlier hits. Others felt the songs didn't have the same energy or heart that made them fall in love with her music in the first place. Katy also made headlines for her decision to join a Blue Origin space flight, a private space trip for celebrities and rich passengers. While some people found it exciting and futuristic, others thought it was out of touch, especially during times when many people are struggling with everyday problems on Earth. Katy Perry is back on stage and thrilling fans around the world with her brand new The Lifetimes Tour, which supports her latest album called 143. This tour is a huge deal for Katy and her fans, especially because it's her first big tour in the United States since 2018. That means it's been 6 long years since Katy last traveled across the country performing for her American fans, so excitement has been sky-high. The Lifetimes Tour officially kicked off on April 23rd in Mexico, where Katy played several shows in Mexico City and Monterrey. Those concerts were completely sold out, with thousands of fans packing into the arenas to sing along to her greatest hits like Roar, Teenage Dream, and Firework, as well as new songs from her 143 album. After those amazing shows, Katy took a moment to thank her Mexican fans on Instagram, posting a heartfelt message on May 1st. She shared just how much their love and energy meant to her, saying it made her feel deeply connected to her audience again. On May 7th, Katy officially brought the tour to the US with a massive concert in Houston, Texas, at the Toyota Center. Just 2 days later, on May 9th, she hit another milestone by performing for the very first time ever in Oklahoma City at the Paycom Center. That's right, even after so many years as a global superstar, it was her first time doing a full show in OKC, and fans were thrilled to finally see her live. USA Today described the first US show as a 5-act, plus encore tower rump. From the looks of the photos by the Oklahoman's Brian Terry, it appears her first OKC gig was another kaleidoscopic pop spectacle, complete with multiple high-flying set pieces and a massive stage shaped like an infinity symbol. Best known for her viral hit, Friday, singer Rebecca Black, who has a new album out called Salvation, is opening for Perry on shows across the country, including OKC. Katy Perry's The Lifetimes Tour is not just another big concert tour, it's also a special family adventure. For the very first time, Katy is bringing her 4.5-year-old daughter, Daisy Dove Bloom, along for the ride. Daisy is Katy's child with actor Orlando Bloom, and this world tour marks a big moment for the whole family. Katy recently told USA Today that she's excited to have Daisy with her as they travel the world, calling it her first world tour with her. It's a sweet and meaningful step for the superstar mom who is balancing being both a performer and a parent. But even with all the fun and excitement of touring, Katy admits that life on the road with a young child is not always easy. She explained that one of the biggest changes she's had to face since becoming a mother is sleep, or rather, the lack of it. Your sleep completely changes after you become a parent, she said. That's why Katy has turned to meditation to help her stay calm and focused. She says meditating has helped her find peace and energy, even on her busiest days. Touring the globe and taking care of a little one at the same time definitely requires patience and strength, and Katy seems to be handling it like a pro. Katy's journey began in the US, where she's been traveling through different cities in May, thrilling fans with her signature mix of fun, fashion, and big pop anthems. But she isn't stopping there. After wrapping up her US shows, Katy is heading all the way to Australia in June, where she'll continue her tour down under. She has a strong fan base there, and the concerts are expected to be just as spectacular as the ones she's already delivered in North America. Once summer rolls around, Katy will return to North America for more shows, including several sold-out concerts in Canada, 7 arena shows, to be exact. Fans in cities across the US and Canada are lining up to see her live, making this one of her most exciting tours yet. Then, in September, the firework singer will bring her high-energy performances to South America. From Brazil to Argentina, her fans in the Southern Hemisphere will finally get their chance to sing and dance along with her in person. And finally, Katy plans to wrap up her globe-spanning tour in the United Kingdom and across Europe in 2025, ending what promises to be a thrilling and emotional ride. Katy Perry's performances during the Lifetimes Tour have created quite a buzz online, and not all of it has been positive. In newly surfaced videos shared on social media, some viewers have been quick to criticize her stage presence, outfits, and vocals. But if there's one thing Katy Perry is known for besides her colorful performances and pop hits, it's her ability to rise above negativity. This isn't the first time Katy has dealt with online backlash or harsh comments. According to Life and Style, a source close to the singer said she doesn't have the time or energy for rude and mean reactions. In fact, Katy is known to be pretty tough when it comes to handling criticism. She's been in the public eye for over a decade, and she's seen her fair share of ups and downs, from viral success to personal struggles and everything in between. But she's never let the noise stop her from doing what she loves. Instead of focusing on the critics, Katy has chosen to keep her energy on the positive. She reportedly brushed off the recent comments and said she's excited about touring, especially for the people who truly support her. These are the fans who followed her since her early days singing "I Kissed a Girl" and "Teenage Dream," and who continue to show up, sing along, and cheer her on through each performance. Katy's message is clear: she's here for the real fans. And with her bold costumes, fun set lists, and fearless attitude, she's making sure they get a show to remember. While online negativity may come and go, Katy Perry is focused on doing what she does best: lighting up the stage and making people feel good through music. Katy Perry's new album 143 was supposed to be a triumphant return, a bold new chapter for one of pop music's brightest stars. But instead of starting with fireworks, the album has landed in the middle of a storm. Critics are talking, fans are split, and 2 of the singles haven't made the splash that everyone expected. For someone with a record-breaking music career, this has been a surprising turn of events. The album's lead single, "Woman's World," came with a lot of attention, not all of it good. The song was meant to be empowering, a strong anthem celebrating womanhood. But it didn't quite connect the way Katy or her team hoped. It stalled at number 63 on the Billboard Hot 100 and landed at number 65 in the UK charts. That's a far cry from the huge success of her past hits like "Roar" and "Dark Horse," which both dominated global charts. Some people felt the lyrics were too simple or the message didn't come across clearly. Others just didn't think the song had the catchy magic they were used to from Katy Perry. Then came the second single, Lifetimes. It was softer and more heartfelt, a very different vibe from Woman's World. But it didn't get much traction either. It peaked at number 15 on the Billboard Bubbling Under Hot 100, a list that tracks songs just below the main chart. That's disappointing for someone who used to drop hit after hit with ease. In fact, Katy Perry has earned 6 diamond singles in the US, meaning each of those songs sold at least 10 million copies. Only Rihanna has more among female artists. So these lukewarm numbers are more than just a slump. They've sparked real concern and debate. Fans are wondering what's changed. Is it the sound? The message? Or has pop music simply moved in a new direction that leaves less room for the playful, over-the-top style Katy was once known for? According to the Daily Mail, a public relations expert has warned that her career could be heading for what they called extinction if she doesn't slow down and take a break from the spotlight. That's a strong word for someone who's been at the top of the charts and graced nearly every major stage on Earth, and now even beyond it. Yes, Katy Perry went his space. She was part of a special 11-minute mission with Blue Origin, the spaceflight company founded by Jeff Bezos. The all-female crew included some very big names: Lauren Sanchez, Bezos' fiancée, CBS Mornings host Gayle King, rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, activist Amanda Gwynn, and film producer Karen Flynn. It sounded like an inspiring, historic trip, a chance to make headlines for all the right reasons. But after they returned, things didn't go quite as planned. Instead of being praised and celebrated, Perry found herself at the center of online jokes and criticism. Katy Perry's recent trip to space was supposed to be a powerful moment, a celebration of women's achievements in science, technology, and exploration. The mission aimed to inspire and shine a spotlight on female excellence in fields that are often male-dominated. But instead of being praised, the mission has stirred up a whirlwind of criticism, and Katy Perry is at the very center of it. As soon as the crew touched back down to Earth, fans and even some fellow celebrities began calling the mission a PR stunt. Many people labeled the group space tourists rather than pioneers, accusing them of taking a joyride rather than advancing science. What really fueled the backlash, though, were Katy Perry's actions after the flight. In post-flight interviews, some of her comments were seen as tone-deaf or self-centered, and clips of her behavior went viral, but not in a good way. Some fans felt she was trying too hard to be quirky or make headlines, which only made things worse. This wave of criticism hit Katy at a time when she was already facing other public challenges. Her new album, 143, has been struggling to connect with audiences, and a major part of that controversy is her choice to work with music producer Dr. Luke. While he's known for crafting some of the biggest pop hits, he's also been at the center of a long and painful legal battle with singer Kesha, who accused him of mistreatment, allegations he has always denied. Even though the two have since settled their legal dispute, many fans and fellow musicians have distanced themselves from Dr. Luke. So when Perry chose to collaborate with him on her comeback, it didn't sit well with a lot of people. The backlash from both the spaceflight and her album choices has painted a complicated picture. For many, Katy Perry now seems out of touch with the cultural moment. Instead of being seen as a bold, forward-thinking artist, she's being criticized for ignoring serious concerns, both in her musical partnerships and in her public appearances. Still, Perry has always been a fighter. She's bounced back from criticism before, reinvented her sound and image more than once, and maintained a loyal fan base throughout. The big question now is whether she'll use this moment to reflect and evolve, or whether she'll continue down a path that's starting to feel more distant from the audience she once captivated so easily. Katy Perry made headlines when she officially announced that she would be leaving American Idol after 7 seasons as a judge. On February 12, 2024, the pop superstar broke the news during an interview on Jimmy Kimmel Live, where she explained her reasons for stepping away from the beloved singing competition. While fans were sad to see her go, Perry made it clear that this choice was all about returning to her first love, music. During the interview, Perry spoke with warmth and honesty about her time on the show. "I love American Idol so much," she said with a smile. "It's connected me with the heart of America." And it's true, for 7 seasons, she laughed, cried, and danced alongside hopeful singers from all over the country. Whether she was wearing outrageous outfits, getting emotional during moving performances, or playfully sparring with fellow judge Luke Bryan, Perry brought both fun and heart to the show. But as she spoke on Kimmel, Perry admitted that something was missing. "I need to feel that pulse of my own beat," she said. In other words, she wanted to get back to making music, touring, and exploring her creativity without the heavy demands of a television schedule. American Idol can be intense. Filming auditions, live shows, and promotional events takes a lot of time and energy. And for someone like Perry, who also wants to create new songs, spend time with her daughter Daisy Dove, and travel the world, it became clear that something had to give. Behind the scenes, sources revealed to the U.S. Sun that Perry had no plans to return after this final season. The schedule was simply too packed, and it clashed with her long-term dreams as an artist. She had new music in the works, a world tour on the horizon, and big ideas for her brand and artistry. Staying on Idol would have meant putting all of that on hold, and Perry was ready to move forward. Though fans and viewers will surely miss her vibrant personality on Idol, they're also excited to see what's next. With her departure, Katy Perry is turning the page and starting a bold new chapter, one that promises more music, more fashion, more adventures, and maybe even more space travel. After stepping away from American Idol, Katy Perry is finally breathing again, and it shows. The pop superstar is fully embracing her comeback as a true pop queen, and according to those close to her, she hasn't looked this energized or free in years. For Perry, the decision to leave the hit singing competition wasn't just about time. It was about rediscovering who she really is at her core: a performer, a creator, a global music icon. Being a judge on American Idol was a huge part of her life for 7 seasons, but behind the scenes, it was starting to feel like a cage. While she loved helping new talent and had genuine fun on the show, it also came with a packed filming schedule, press commitments, and little time to focus on her music. According to sources, Perry felt suffocated by it all. It wasn't easy for someone who built her career by lighting up stages around the world and topping charts with bold, catchy anthems. Now that she's left the show, Perry is reportedly feeling like her old self again, or maybe an even better version. Interestingly, Perry hasn't even been keeping up with the current season of American Idol. After her exit, country superstar Carrie Underwood stepped into her judging seat, a big moment for the show. But Perry, according to insiders, hasn't watched a single episode. Katy doesn't even watch the show, so she hasn't seen Carrie, a source shared. It's not because she's bitter or upset, it's just that her focus has completely shifted. Right now, all her energy is going into her music, her fans, and her tour. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom found themselves in a serious legal battle that had nothing to do with music or movies, but everything to do with real estate. The couple, who are used to flashing lights and red carpets, were suddenly facing a courtroom drama centered around a beautiful mansion in Montecito, California, and an elderly man who said he never truly agreed to sell it. Back in 2021, Perry and Bloom paid $14.2 million for the grand estate. It was a dream home in one of California's most luxurious neighborhoods, a place known for celebrity neighbors, stunning ocean views, and total privacy. But this dream soon turned into a legal nightmare when the home's former owner, Carl Westcott, filed a lawsuit. Westcott, an 85-year-old disabled military veteran, claimed that he wasn't in the right state of mind when he signed the contract to sell the property. He said he had just undergone back surgery and was under the influence of strong pain medications. On top of that, he had been diagnosed with Huntington's disease in 2015, a serious condition that affects the brain and can lead to confusion, memory loss, and difficulty making decisions. Westcott's legal team argued that because of his health and the medications he was on, he didn't truly understand what he was agreeing to when he signed the paperwork. He said he had tried to cancel the sale just a few days later, once he realized what had happened, but by then, it was too late. The deal was moving forward, and the home was already in the hands of Perry and Bloom. On the other side, Perry and Bloom's lawyers stood firm. They said the sale was completely legal and that Westcott had been fully capable of making the decision. They argued that all the documents were signed correctly and that there was no sign he was confused at the time. From their point of view, the deal was fair and the lawsuit was unjustified. The situation became a public debate. Some people sympathized with Westcott, believing that a sick elderly man should be protected if he made a decision while vulnerable. Others felt the sale was business and that Perry and Bloom were not to blame if everything appeared legal and proper at the time. It was a difficult and emotional case, highlighting questions about responsibility, power, and fairness. While Perry and Bloom likely didn't expect to be dragged into a lawsuit when they bought the home, the situation reminded everyone that fame and money don't shield celebrities from real-world problems. In a twist that added even more drama to the already emotional case, a judge finally made a decision, and it wasn't what Carl Westcott had hoped for. The court ruled in favor of Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, saying the original sale of the Montecito mansion was legal and binding. That meant Westcott, the elderly veteran who had lived there, had to leave the home he said he didn't mean to sell. According to the judge, there was enough evidence to show that Westcott understood what he was doing when he signed the contract back in 2021. Even though he had Huntington's disease and was recovering from back surgery, the court said he was mentally capable of agreeing to the sale. As a result, Perry officially took possession of the multi-million-dollar property in May 2024, 3 years after the sale had first gone through. But things didn't stop there. Soon after the ruling, Perry and Bloom hit back with their own legal move, a countersuit against Westcott. They claimed that by staying in the home during the long court fight, Westcott had caused them financial harm. They argued that the house could have been rented out or used for other purposes during that time, and because they couldn't access the property, they lost money. They also accused Westcott of causing damage to the mansion while he lived there and asked the court for damages to cover those costs. This didn't sit well with many people. Critics on social media and in the news began speaking out, and the backlash was fierce. While some agreed with the legal result, others were angry that Perry and Bloom were now suing a disabled veteran in his 80s who was clearly going through a tough time. They saw the countersuit as unnecessary and even cruel. Perry and Bloom found themselves under a new spotlight, not the kind they're used to as celebrities on stage or screen. Instead, they were now being criticized for being too aggressive and too focused on money, especially when dealing with an elderly man with serious health problems. Even fans began to question their actions. Online discussions turned heated, with some people defending the couple's right to protect their financial interests, while others accused them of lacking compassion. In the end, this case became about much more than just a house. It was about ethics, emotions, and how even superstars can find themselves in complicated, very human situations. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom may have won the house, but they also walked away with a very public controversy that won't be easily forgotten.